His opponent this round is Aiden Simons Rudolph, and this is Aiden's first Grand Prix, and he is now 8-1. Excuse me, I meant to say 8-1. And he finds himself facing down the number 3 player in the world, and the gentleman who's just a couple of pro points off of the current player of the year standing as well. So this should be fun. It looks like a little bit of a...
Looks like a card got knocked and perhaps not seen, but just the judges are making sure everything is as it should be.
Okay.
So yeah, first Grand Prix, super impressive to make it this far, 8-1. It took me a lot of tries before I ever made day 2 of a Grand Prix, let alone had a run this deep. So this is another black-red aggro mirror, but just like last time, we have a sort of more controlling version in the hands of Luis Salvato versus a more aggressive version in the hands of Aiden Simons Rudolph. Fascinatingly, Luis Salvato and Seth Manfield are playing basically the same exact list. I would love to know the story behind that, if they collaborated or had a mutual friend or something like that. In any case, coming to the same conclusions.
You know what my best bet would be?
What's that?
Your cousin played it online. Whenever I see 2 pros that don't necessarily test together, I always think, that's a Jabberwocky list. You must have been excited for him.
Oh, yeah, just amazing.
Yeah. Did you tease him a little, like you got a few more to go before you catch up with old Reed here?
Is that the first thing I should say to him? When
no, but you got to work it in some way.
No, actually, I wish I had been there to watch in person, but there was a Grand Prix on the East Coast and on the West Coast there. So he won Grand Prix Los Angeles, my cousin Logan Nettles, but I was driving home from Grand Prix Providence at the time, so just sort of refreshing Twitter and Twitch coverage as often as I could.
All right, so Aiden's going to cast Goblin Chainwhirler here as he's had a really nice little curve out, although that will stop here. A Braid is going to kill Heart of Kirin. Still, that Bomat Courier doing what it does and getting a little scary with 3 cards under it already.
In the match we just saw, we watched Seth Manfield get a little bit behind, similar to this, but then clean up with a Goblin Chainwhirler. So let's see if Luis Salvato can make a similar comeback play.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Rekindling Phoenix can't block the Goblin Chainwhirler that well,
No.
or if he does decide to do it, he's going to have to worry about a post-combat removal spell to clean up the Elemental. But it might do a good job brickwalling the Bomat Courier at least.
Yeah, Aiden with still 5 cards in hand. He's not quite to the point that he's ready to cash in that Courier, so we're just going to see attack with the Chainwhirler here from Aiden.
Flooding the board, but making him more vulnerable to Goblin Chainwhirler if Salvato has that or finds that.
Salvato doesn't seem to have a Chainwhirler, but he does have a Glory Bringer. This could be a big swing in Salvato's direction as well. He could put a 4 power of haste, take out a threat on the other side, maybe even attack with multiple creatures here if he really wants to get aggressive.
Part of the problem here is Salvato has to pick a route. He has to decide whether he's racing or whether he's trying to defend himself. And the fact that he's not attacking with the Rekindling Phoenix, it's somewhat of bad news for Luis Salvato because, sure, Glorybringer takes out a blocker, but he's not really capitalizing on the 4 damage, so effectively, in the short term, it's nothing but a 1-for-1 removal spell, and he still has to hunker down and make sure that he can avoid losing his last 13 points of life But the fact that Aiden here has to pass without making a play is
Pretty
it's a little
bad
bit of
news.
breathing room, and that's all Luis needs is a little bit of breathing room to come back.
He has to think that Aiden has removal spells at this point, though, right?
Right. There was no land drop and no creature deployed, so what else could really be in hand for Simon's Rudolph?
And he does, in fact, have an unlicensed disintegration at the ready. Depending on what else he has in his hand, he could choose either target. Oh, boy. But here's Chandra. She's going to make mana and Pianolar. So, boy, that breathing room, Salvato really capitalized on it.
Yeah, fantastic turn for him. A Planeswalker with a high loyalty and 2 more blockers.
So Aiden's going to use unlicensed disintegration to kill the Phoenix, signaling this.
Oh, well set up
Oh, my
by
goodness
Simon's
sakes.
Rudolph. Combining the end of turn unlicensed disintegration with the Chain Whirler to take out the Rekindling Phoenix, also damaging Chandra and killing the Thopter token for his troubles. But he is 1 short of killing the Planeswalker here.
Oh, he's going to send in that Bomat Courier, though, and Luis Salvato is going to jump all over it. And Aiden just says, okay, I'd rather have Chandra on 1 than have this Bomat Courier around.
Yeah, interesting
Very aggressive.
Interesting choice about sending in the Bomat. If he had not done that, then the Pias would probably trade and the Chandra would have 2 additional loyalty. So it would be a different game. It's unclear which situation is better, but the Bomat, particularly in combination with Pia and Alar, did seem to have some value on the board. So not an easy choice either way.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Salvato, I'm thinking, wow, Aiden must love his hand.
Right, not cashing in the Bomat. That's a great
Right, he
point.
must just have a lot of action left. And now he's going to kind of force the issue and see if Luis has a removal spell, which he does not. Pianolar finishes off Chandra, so that's a good sequence there from Aiden.
Yeah, that's somewhat risky as well because
Very risky.
Aiden could have sent both
Yeah.
at Chandra, and then if Pia does get targeted with a removal spell, he could pump the Thopter to make sure the Planeswalker's dying. But he might think, okay, my hand is all 3 and 4 mana cards. I really need to cast something this turn, so I'm just in big trouble if that sequence comes up.
Players played pretty quickly there, but Salvato had an answer for the Rekindling Phoenix.
And wow, look at that. So that was untap and cast Vraska's Contempt, I see.
Mm-hmm. And that was the answer for the Phoenix, so it's gone for good. But Aiden, with his own copy of Chandra, is now going to be able to start to wrestle control of this board back because Salvato has nothing left. He's just got a land in hand. And this board looks like it just flopped places. Salvato was the one with the Chandra on life support there, just trying to keep her around to get some more value. Wasn't able to do so. And now Aiden all of a sudden is the one with Chandra, Torch of Defiance with just 1 loyalty. And he's going to start trading onboard resources to make sure that she stays around as long as possible. So replacement Scrap Heap Scrounger, and we'll surely see the other one come back into play as well. So Aiden has to plan out for at least 2 Scrap Heap Scroungers next turn.
Take 2 from Chandra.
Boy, the hits keep coming. You can see why Aiden liked his hand so much. He's going to play Soulscar Mage and then Goblin Chain Whirler, which is going to put a counter on. This is an interaction we did not see in our main match, as neither player was playing Soulscar Mage in that one.
It is a nice one for creature mirrors, though.
Oh, Salvato found Cut.
Wow, and with the life totals as close as they are, that is a big deal.
Seriously. How much can he can ribbons for 3 right now?
Yeah, so that means that Aiden must block,
Yep.
but he can choose which creature he would like to block. Also means he's dead next turn any way you look at it, so he has to
Draw a Glorybringer.
He has to block and find a way to kill Salvado.
Glorybringer would do it, right? 4/5 and then plus Chandra.
Yes, if Glorybringer's in his hand, it would do it. If it's off the top from Chandra, it looks like it's only 5.
Yeah, he needed to find it with his draw step or already to have it.
Whoa.
There's Hazoret.
Oh, my
Oh, that's
goodness.
exactly lethal. Oh, what a hit for Aiden. And Luis is like, yeah, you got it. Aiden Simons Rudolph with the sick Chandra activation. 5 damage coming in. That's how you do it. Oh, boy. Exactsies, as we say in the business.
Yeah.
Boy.
And we've talked about that card being super strong in the black-red mirror. Aiden with the lower curve, lower land count deck, curving up to 3 Hazorets. That's his relative advantage in the matchup, whereas Luis Salvado's relative advantage is a little more late-game power, those removal spells that do exile, and a lack of 1 toughness creatures, which means better Chain Whirlers.
I had a chance to talk with Aiden yesterday in the middle part of day 1, and he came up to say hi. Pretty cool. He listens to the podcast that I do, and the topic this week was the things that you need to know before you go to your first big Magic tournament, and that was kind of our thinly veiled way of saying you should go to your first big Magic tournament because there's so much cool stuff out here. And he actually wasn't going to come and decided to because of that, and I thought, well, that's awesome. And he's like, I'm doing pretty good. I haven't lost yet. And I don't remember I think it was 4-0 or 5-0 or something. Like, nice. I'm like, keep it up. And then I saw his name on the thing here. Wait a second. He's like still crushing.
Did you say things like, don't get nervous if you play against the number 3 ranked pro player in the world who flew here from Argentina to compete?
We did not cover that particular scenario, so Aiden's on his own for that one. In the meantime, Luis Salvado keeping the board completely clear from Aiden, at least from his cheaper threats. Pair of Chain Whirlers and a Soulscar Mage in the graveyard. But now this is where the heavy hitters can start coming in like this one. And can Salvado keep up with the removal that he needs to keep the pressure on? Remember, he's only attacking for 2 a turn on top of it.
Wow, I see. Is Luis just holding 4 cards that cost 5 mana? I think he has 2 Eldest Reborn and 2 Glorybringer.
Yeah, he absolutely does, Reed. You saw that correctly.
Wow.
What do you think he wants to draw now?
Probably like a Cinder Baron, some kind of something that comes into play tapped.
Maximum Pain land. All right, he did find something he can cast, and it's at that perfect mana cost 4. It's Chandra. Oh, there's the mountain he wanted. Of course, he doesn't get to keep it.
That's very unlucky, Marshall, because it looks to be like those are probably the only 5 drops in Salvado's deck, and he drew all of them without a 5th land.
All of them? Now, if Aiden can keep the pressure up, then that would be unlucky. But if Aiden can't, then we might be jealous of Luis if he gets to go 5-drop, 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 5-drop.
Very true.
Oh, here's a land. But as I mentioned, if Aiden can keep the pressure up, and so far the answer is yes, because Hazoret next turn is threatening a heck of a lot of damage. And the Eldest Reborn is a really powerful, grindy card, but Aiden has a wide enough board here that it's not going to get the job done on its own. Perhaps he just needs to go with the Glorybringer, though, to be honest, that doesn't look amazing here either, does it?
Yeah, this is a tough way to do it. So he can go Glorybringer, Exert on Bomat, and taking a minimum of 11 damage next turn. He can not Exert, which allows him to set up a kill on the Rekindling Phoenix. The way I'm looking at it is he needs to draw Vraska's Contempt for Hazoret and 2 points of life gain if he's going to stay in it.
Okay. There's Pia and Alar. These Eldest Reborns are getting worse by the minute.
And talk about some sideboarding leveling going on here. It's common, though not universal, for the black-red aggro players to sideboard out Bomat Courier in the mirror to be less vulnerable to Goblin Chainwhirler. So Luis Salvato may have been taking that thought one step further of I'm going to use Edict effects like the Eldest Reborn and Doomfall because my opponent's going to have a smaller number of higher impact creatures. But now with Aiden Simons Rudolph not necessarily doing the predictable thing, Salvato is now choked with these clunky cards that aren't going to answer things in the way he really needs them to.
9-9 are the life totals, but the board state favors Aiden Simons Rudolph pretty significantly here.
And a really nice turn of events for Salvato that Aiden was not able to attack with Hazoret that turn. That was probably, I guess, how his comeback needed to start, was save that 5 points of life. But even that said, he's got his back against the wall here. So the way I look at it, he's got to kill the Pia, because if the Pia survives alongside those two artifacts, it's going to take away his blockers. So if he attacks with one Glorybringer and exerts on the Pia, looks like he's going to exert on Thopter token, but now he's going to be dead if Aiden can empty his hand. Or even on the board, 2 pumps on Bomat Courier should do it. So I don't see any way out of this for Salvato.
There's another Bomat Courier as well, and even though it's 9-1 on life totals, that's plenty enough to get the job done for Aiden Simons Rudolph, his first GP. Look, we didn't teach him that part. How do you beat Luis Salvato in the red-black mirror? Well, he got the job done, and he is X-1. If he can hang on, we may be seeing a first-time GP competitor get a top 8, but he's got a little ways to go here, too, so let's not jump the gun too much. That's going to do it for our time walk here from this round. We're getting set up for the next one, so we're going to pop on out of here, and we're going to get BDM and Eduardo back in. We'll be back right after these messages.